Well, hello, 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 and once again, welcome back to another episode of the Summer Spotlight 2020. I am your host, Gayle Nicholson. Good to see you today. How are you guys doing? I am so happy to be here once again. Please, if you're watching on Facebook, give us a like, give us a heart, make a comment. If we see some comments, we may bring that into the conversation. Thank you so much for your support. And, hey, share it out. Start a watch party. Um, Share the love, so to speak. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. As I like to say, we are growing and we would love you along for the ride. All right, so today I get to introduce you to this woman. Oh my gosh. She's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And she can make shifts so amazingly. I just need to introduce her to you. Please help me welcome Miss Helen Lingard, personal achievement coach at BeDeliciouslyFree.com. Thank you so much for joining me today, Helen. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me, Gail. I'm delighted to be here. I'm very well, thank you. Nice to be here.
Thanks. You are very welcome here. I have been very, very excited to talk to you for quite a while now. I'm so glad that we finally got everything together and everything is in place for this. So tell me a little bit about your pathway, how you became a leader of Be Deliciously Free. How do you get there?
Well, my coaching is based on my own life, my own experiences. Be Deliciously Free came about because there's a perfume, DKNY Be Delicious, which I just love. And Be Deliciously Free is about being free to be yourself, to not worry about other people's opinions, and just to do what you want to do, however you want to do it, and to be you, the best version of you, whatever that is for you. I grew up the youngest of three girls, never felt good enough, low self esteem, lack of confidence, no boundaries, just very timid and shy. Went through a lot of challenges as I was growing up. And then some things happened later on in life. Firstly, when I was young, when I was a child, I was bullied and just it broke my heart. It was just horrendous, as anybody who's been bullied knows. And then when I was older, I went through a challenge. One of my sisters died suddenly, and just after that happened, I got a new job which I wasn't in the right space for. And to cut long story short, I was bullied for a whole year by the powers that be. It was
In a day job.
absolutely awful. One of the worst years. Yes, yes, absolutely. As an adult, and somebody in HR just decided to bully me for. And the thing that was one of the hardest things was there were two other managers who would sit there and say nothing as this woman bullied me for a whole year. And finally the worm turned, and I became kind of I realized the inner me was far better than this, and I stood up and told them this was not on, and I walked away with a payment. And it was then that I realized that what I could do with my life, I was going to do psychology. And then I decided, as a single mum, I decided to get to immerse myself even more into personal development. And that's when I realized to empower women to be amazing, because what I'd gone through had shown me that, I was stronger than I realized. And this is the case for most women out there. Women are so hard on ourselves. We kind of, we're not good enough. We're not attractive enough. Our figures aren't good enough. We hate our bodies. We have no boundaries. We don't value ourselves. We don't feel worthy. And we wonder why our partners or the world treat us the way they do, because it's a reflection of how we're treating ourselves. So I empower women to realize they are amazing. They are absolutely amazing, beautiful, and there's nothing we can't achieve.
That's phenomenal. It's funny the dichotomy because women do so much. They multitask so well. They get they handle everything, but inside their heads it's like, oh, it's not enough. It's not good enough. It's not perfect. It's not whatever. And you're right. We lose so much of our power in doing that to ourselves, and then we end up receiving all of this stuff that reflects back to us how powerless we think we are. you know. So I love that you're out here doing that,
Absolutely.
making a
So true.
shift.
So true.
Sorry, go ahead. Say that again. It is
No, I
true, eh?
said I agree with you. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
Absolutely.
say for example, um, I feel really low. No energy to go out, no interest in going out. No confidence. None of my clothes fit right. You know, and they look frumpy, or maybe they look normal. I feel frumpy. I don't want to go out. What would you do for me?
Well, what I would do for you, I would encourage you to do. I give women I work with certain tasks to do, things to lighten themselves. For instance, I would, for me, and again, as I say, it's based on what I've been through. So when I've been feeling like that, I I suggest the women, well, I don't suggest, if they're working with me, I give them assignments. And I've been told you're firm but fair. So I start on gratitude. We
Mm-hmm.
don't focus on gratitude enough. So I start gratitude. I get them to do journaling. I don't know if you've heard of journaling. There's the morning pages, Julia Cameron, which is three
Oh, I
pages,
love
and you
Julia
write it
Cameron's
out.
morning
And you
pages.
write
Yes.
every,
Oh.
yes. So you write your 3 pages, or you don't have to write three, you can write whatever you want to write, but you write down your journal every day, the good, the bad, the ugly, plus the gratitude. So I stop them doing that. I also get them, I check out their diet, what they're eating, what they're drinking, are they exercising? And I get them exercising their choice. I also, one thing women struggle with often is boundaries and comfort zones. So I get them doing little bits every day out of their comfort zone to build up, to build their strength, to build their confidence. Because very often, like I say, it's a confidence thing. And I think for me, well, not for me, but I believe for women, when we're not happy with ourselves, we have to look within and what we feel in our mind, turn off the news,
Mm-hmm.
what you're reading, what you're looking at, who you surround yourself with. So basically, like we clear out a wardrobe, I get women to clear out, not necessarily disband their friends, but just check who they're surrounded by and make sure they keep their quality friends and just kind of put distance between anybody who doesn't lift them up. You know, I mean, while we're feeling down, we have to have other people lifting us up. But basically, it's got to be ourselves lifting us up. We're the ones that keep us going. You know, I did a talk a while ago, and I said that basically wherever you go, there you are. So it's us that have got to be our own kind of, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Cheerleader. But until you're in that place where you feel like you can be your own cheerleader, other people, you've got to be very, very protective who you surround yourself with.
Excellent. So what I'm hearing is that you are basically a guide for learning to discipline your own mind into a better way of thinking about yourself. Correct?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely. That's the key. That's the key. Getting our self-talk right, even writing down, how we feel, turn it around from I'm so stupid to I'm amazing. What more can I achieve? How amazing am I? And one thing that did change my life several years ago was a coach I was working with said to me, "So what have you achieved, Helen?" And up until that point, I thought I'd been a failure because I didn't do so well at school, but I did achieve my nursing. I passed my driving test first time. I had children. I traveled the world. And when we ask ourselves the right questions, it can change our life. And for me, realizing that I'd achieved all my goals up to now, I was like, oh my God, I am amazing. I have achieved all this. And it was to lift my, change my life. So, yes,
you know what, I struggle with that myself. If I don't, and I just instituted this practice not too long ago, just a couple of years ago, but if I don't write down the achievements when they happen,
absolutely.
gone out of my head. I will not remember them. People will bring up to me, you remember when we did this? Oh, yeah, I do. That was awesome. But recalling it for myself, there's like a gate in my head that goes, oh, no, no, no. This will disprove this story over here. So you can't see this, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes. And that's one thing I do. I get the women to write out every night what they've achieved that day,
Nice.
and to praise themselves for everything that works out well, even if it's only somebody smiling at you or somebody giving you a compliment, writing that down. Because so often we focus on the bad things that have happened. We're not open to the good things that are happening and the good things that we're doing.
You just reminded me of something that happened last week. I gotta share with you quickly. I went to the gas station. There's two boys, probably about 14. I mean, they weren't even older teens. They were like just maybe 14, 15, just starting high school age. And one of them looked over and complimented me, like that I was cute. And the first thought that went through my head was, honey, I'm old enough to be your grandmother. But then it was like, oh my gosh, and he thought I was good looking. This is a great day.
Love,
But you know what?
absolutely.
Those are
Take
good
it
fodder
all.
for the
Take it
list,
all.
huh? Those are
Absolutely.
just
Absolutely.
surprising little gifts from the universe to say, you know what? You're not off track. You're doing okay. You're doing great.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to back up for a
Absolutely. Yes.
second, if we can, back into two little pieces in a long list of things that you help with, and that those two little pieces being diet and exercise. Okay, because you know as well as I do, whether it's in the UK or the US, I imagine it's pretty much the same. Women are marketed to mercilessly that they will never be thin enough, and they have to exercise so hard and they'll still never be good enough, and there's all of these processed foods that lead you to believe that they're going to be helpful, but in the end up not being so helpful. Um, so I just wanted to kind of shine a spotlight on that and remind our viewers that exercise doesn't mean abusing your body into a shape that's unnatural for you. It means getting out of your chair and moving around, right? You can do whatever you like.
Absolutely. You can. And it's a bit like, I don't believe in diets for a start. I believe that you have to find things you enjoy eating and eat in moderation. I mean, have a treat and enjoy it, but also find an exercise that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy going to the gym, don't go to the gym. If you like walking, go walking. If you like swimming, but find something. Even if it's dancing, if you want to dance your socks off, that burns up so many calories. And also, I say, don't get into calories. Don't get into calorie counting. Focus more on your sizing, your dress sizes that you've dropped a dress size or something. Um, so sorry, I've forgotten the question now. What was the question you asked?
Just basically, in the exercise, like for example, you don't have to abuse yourself. It's just a matter of getting up
Yes.
and moving
Yes.
around and doing stuff that makes you feel good. And like you said, choosing foods that you like to eat. Myself,
Absolutely.
I choose to try and stay, and this is going to sound horrible, but I like to eat as live as possible, right? So I try to stay away from anything that's come out of a processing pack, or a plant. Uh, I try to stay away from things that are packaged, because they've gone through a process that makes them have a longer shelf life, but that takes a lot of the liveness out of the cells that you're ingesting that actually nutrify you in more
Absolutely.
ways than just vitamins and minerals. Would you
Yes. Yes.
disagree?
Yes. Absolutely. I've actually just recently, in the last few months, I've had to change my diet because of health reasons. So I've had to cut out things like sugar and reduce my salt. And whilst it sounds, for me, it was like, oh my God, I can't eat sugar anymore. Actually, it was a what's the word I'm looking for? It was kind of bittersweet because I mean it's so good for me not to be eating sugar. And I've lost a truckload of weight through that. And I just love it because I feel better. My clothes dropped sizes. I feel more healthy. I get comments. A few things I'd say is make sure you're drinking lots of water, cut down your caffeine. I used to drink like 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day. Now I'm drinking decaf coffee and I have just one a day. But also just be aware that when you see these models or these celebrities on Instagram, these influencers, these are photoshopped. A friend of mine in Australia who's a nutritionist, she did she posted on Facebook about a year or so ago, and she showed how positioning can make you look slimmer. So do not be fooled that these women, oh my God, look how slim they are, look how amazing they look. It's a lot of it's photoshopped. Nobody is perfect. We've all got cellulite, and I'm one for there's a fine line, but I'm one for I love it when people embrace their figures, their voluptuous figures.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's a fine line between you've got to be healthy, and if you're getting so padded out, you're kind of putting your health in danger. You've got to be careful. But I also would say that do not think that cosmetic surgery and plastic surgery is going to solve it. It's up here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's making peace with your body, the one you've got, the one that's got you this far. Start loving your body, and your body will love you right back. And I'd like to say, the diet industry is a $1 billion diet industry. Diets don't work. That's why people keep going on them. It's about finding what works for you. Don't be kind of persuaded into one of these fad things. Like, for instance, I'm not saying it's not for everybody, like fasting doesn't work for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So find out something that works for you with the food you like, the exercise you like, and accept yourself for who you are and work on here in your mind rather than, what I look like. People are going to care more about who you are
Mm-hmm.
than what you look like. It's who you are as a personality, your character, your warmth, your kindness. I have adopted over the years, and it's been a work in progress. I'm still getting there, not to care so much about what everybody thinks. I'll do what I like my silver hair. Not everyone likes my silver hair.
I
I
love
like
your
it.
silver hair. I can't wait for mine
Oh,
to go
thank you.
silver.
Oh, yours is beautiful.
Well,
Yours is
thank you.
beautiful. Um, so and the more you make peace with yourself, as long as you're kind, considerate, warm, friendly, helpful, then it doesn't matter what you look like so just focus on being the best version of you and less about what your body looks like. Again, it's the mind. It's the mind that matters.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I just got to amplify that. My best friend from the time that I was 15 years old was a very round person. Okay, now I want to describe her for you because she was like the voluptuous
Oh,
hourglass figure. She had a waist, no problem. She had everything she needed up top. She had extra on the bottom. And this girl was never lonely because she loved herself. It had nothing to do
absolutely.
with her weight. It had everything to do with her presence. And she was just
Absolutely.
vivacious and, bold, and everybody adored her. Absolutely.
Yes,
She passed away a
yes.
few years ago, but her life she lived, you know? And I encourage everyone listening, love, like Helen just said, love your body, and you will be surprised at how your body will begin loving you back and accommodating your wishes. It really is phenomenal, the power that the mind has over the physical body, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And I would encourage you to, if you're not, like I say, and the books you're reading, Pam Grout is a brilliant author. I don't know if you've heard of her. I interviewed her several years ago. Um, and her books are talk like there's E squared. They're basically about the law of attraction and how what we
I have read
believe.
her stuff. E
Yes.
squared,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. What we believe is so important.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe I mean, like, and yes, sorry, I'm going to distract myself here. Just believing yourself and do not be fooled. This is something I talk about quite often in my tribe and with my clients. That woman that you see who's tall, slim, blonde, gorgeous, and you think, oh, she's got it all. She hasn't got it all. She's got issues, she's got worries, just like we have. Nobody is exempt from worries and insecurity. Even the most beautiful models still have issues. We're all in this together. It's just a matter of working on ourselves, being the best version we can be.
Yep, yep. That's wonderful stuff. I was just thinking as you were talking about that, that I saw on somebody a T-shirt that says, "I don't care how good she looks. Somewhere somebody is tired of her shit."
That's brilliant. I love that.
Right? It's very true. And on the other side of it too, I've got friends up in Vegas. Some of them are showgirls. They're just stunning. They're absolutely gorgeous. And you're talking with them and you're like, you must, not ever have any downtime. How do you, manage all of your dates and dinners out and more often than not, honestly, what the answer is that comes back is I don't go out very often. It seems that men are too afraid to ask me out.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got no idea just looking across the room at somebody else what they're dealing with. Be nice, be kind, extend
Absolutely.
extend a welcoming hand, because
Absolutely.
we need to
And
support each other.
one of the things I encourage my clients and people generally to do, and it's something I've been doing for a long time now, is as you walk down the street or just during your life, generally we hold back because we tend to feel that if we tell somebody else something nice, it detracts from us. Give that woman or that man or somebody a compliment. Tell them they smell nice, they look good. It blew me away when I started to do this, how many that looked $1 million would say, "Oh, really? You like this? Oh, thank you so much." So, and the more you do that, the more confident you'll become, and you'll realize, and often people will give you a compliment back. I mean, not necessarily, you don't have to do it, and they don't have to do it, but sometimes they will, and you feel like $1 million. It's just wonderful.
Yep, yep. And also with that, let me put this in there. Just you're not obligated to give somebody a compliment back if they give you a compliment.
No. No, no, because sometimes you're telling the universe, I don't accept that. So I actually do encourage people not to, if somebody compliments me, I'll say, "Oh, thank you." And I'll stop it there. And then later on, I'll notice something else they're doing, and I'll say, "Oh, you're really good at that," or "That looks so lovely." But very often people do it like, "You look nice." "Oh, you look nice too." And it ruins the
It's
moment.
deflective,
Whereas,
isn't it? It's like, get that gift out of
yes,
here. I don't want that.
absolutely. And just as you say, remember that if you don't take a compliment, or even somebody offers you to buy your coffee or lunch, whatever, you say thank you, because that you're sending the universe a message. I'm open to receive. Let me but at the same token, be open to give too. When you feel free, like if you see somebody who's homeless, buy them a cup of coffee. It doesn't take anything away from you. It's only $5, and just do whatever you can for whoever you can, whenever you can. Great
That
tip
is,
there,
yeah.
Gail. You reminded me.
Awesome stuff. All right, now, what about people that they're doing really well in life, okay? And I've in studying people as I have over the last 40 years or so, I find that a lot of people that excel in whatever field that they're in often do it as an in spite of what's going on in their head. And then they get there and it's really not satisfying. Right? Now, if somebody like that came to you, how would you help them?
Well, it's interesting you say, because a client I had last year, that was her, very successful, um, but just lacked sort of kind of certain things. And basically, I kind of point out all things they're not seeing, a bit like about what we're not realizing we've achieved. I point out all the things about them they might not be aware of, like how attractive she was, and then she would tell me stories, and I would come, "Do you realize that you stood up to that person?" And she'd be like, "Oh my goodness." So basically, I just basically prompt them to do the inner work, because quite often they're so successful, they're not doing that inner work they need to be doing, the meditation perhaps, the journaling perhaps, realizing themselves how amazing they are. So I just prompt, sorry, can you just remind me about the question? If
Just
somebody's very successful, how
somebody's
would I
very
help?
successful in spite of whatever the story is going on in their head, but they're unsatisfied with their success. How do you help them?
Right. Yes, yes. So basically, I just get them to do the inner work, the journaling, to make sure they're taking breaks, to make sure they're taking time out to realize how amazing they are. Like I say, we often forget. Um, and I do find that these people who are very successful, they're often working crazy hours. They're not finding time for themselves. They're not looking after their bodies, and they're forgetting, that. if they keep doing this, they're just going to crash and burn. So I just remind them that life, to get that life work balance, to enjoy themselves, but also not to party till like 3 in the morning when they're got to be awake at 6. So it's just getting back to basics and to taking care of themselves and to realizing how amazing they are, which, as I say, women, we often forget. We don't get told enough. We don't tell ourselves enough. So it's just a reminder, really.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I would absolutely agree that it from what I've seen with people that are super successful in spite of the story in their head, um, that their life is very out of balance. Now, me as a Libra, that I'm very like focused on balance and stuff. But there is the possibility, especially for women, that we can achieve so very much while starving half of us, you know, um, to burn the fuel to get there. So
Absolutely.
definitely. And then there's the other side of it that are more like me, where I've got these huge goals, but I have this past history of falling short or giving up or quitting that I have now trained myself don't even bother. Just don't even go there. It's going to hurt again. You know, who are you to
Oh,
think that you could do this? Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. You know, the list goes on, right? So for somebody like me
absolutely.
that has not been able to make success like that stick, how would you help me to get there? It seems is it the opposite problem or is it still the same problem in a different shell?
Well, I basically, because it's what I do for myself, is I think we have to constantly remind ourselves where we want to go, to visualize, to actually think of how where we want to be. For me, for instance, it's on a beach, and it's basically traveling the world, which obviously we can't travel at the moment. And you've got to go there in your head and feel the feelings of how it will feel when you get there, and then write that out in the present tense if it's already happened. And in detail, you write like your perfect day, what you want to do, where you want to be, how you want to feel. And you read that every single day and it's a bit like a vision board, get pictures if necessary. If I
Mm-hmm.
mean, vision boards are proven to be successful, and see yourself there every single day and never lose track of that. And reminder that people like Louise Hay,
Mm-hmm.
she was still taking a what do you call it? I don't know what you call in America, but she was still on the dole. She was still getting a check at 56. It wasn't until she got older that she was successful.
Yeah.
Never give up. It's there. It's just there for the taking, and you just need to let those blocks go and visualize all the time. See it in your and feel how you'll feel when you achieve that, and keep seeing it, and keep talking about it with close friends, people who are supportive for you, even me. Write it down, read it every day, and just see yourself there because it's there for you. It's there. It's there for the taking.
Right.
You just got that much to go. It's
Right.
there.
Like they say, it wouldn't be in your heart if you weren't able to achieve it. Now get the stuff out of the way.
Absolutely.
That's disconnecting the
Absolutely.
head and the heart.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Now,
That's right. That's right.
in this particular time in life, you know, this show, as you probably already know, started out of when the president in the United States called quarantine and started shutting down businesses and major league sports and all that kind of stuff. So, in this particular moment in time, there's a huge conversation out there in the world that there's no money. Nobody's letting go of any money that they may have. Businesses are struggling. Businesses are going belly up, right? And this seems to me to be a time when we really need to change that conversation. Um, so, if you have a business and you're not doing so well, and it seems like you're not making the sales you used to make, and there's no money out there, right? How can you shift that mindset? Because, like as we've already discussed a little bit, you know, if it's out there, if you have a pull towards it, it's possible, right? How do you shift that story in your head based on everything we're seeing in the media, in social media, that this, everything's dying, right? That no, my business can go on. My business can provide, my business can receive. How do you shift that story?
Well, for a start, as you said, from everybody seeing the media and the news, turn off all that rubbish. Turn off the news, come off social media. We have a choice, basically, and in this time you can choose to get pulled into the conspiracies, the kind of there's none of that, or you can choose to focus on yourself and being the best person you can be, and focus on people like I'm trying to think his name now. People from The Secret. There's just
Bob
be very
Proctor,
choosy who
Joe
you're following
Dispenza.
right now. No, it's Dooley. What's his Dooley?
Oh,
Dooley. Um,
yeah, he's Tut's Adventure Club. Tom Dooley?
no,
Something like
no,
that.
the other one. I can't.
Mike Dooley.
Dooley,
Mike.
Mike Dooley.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Yes,
So
yes.
be very choosy who you're following. As I say, turn off the news. The only news I watch is because I'm in New Zealand at the moment. I watch our PM talking about COVID, just to catch an eye on what's happening. But basically, I don't watch any news and just focus on yourself, feeding your own mind, knowing that whatever you want is out there. Again, just as I said at the beginning of the call, really be very careful about who you're surrounding yourself with. Focus on people like Oprah. Just find the laughter in life. It's so important to focus on laughing at yourself and laughing at life. Don't take life too seriously. And we have a choice. We can either be happy, we can read and share and feed our minds with happy stuff or negative stuff. Which is going to make you happy? Which is going to get you to your goal? The happy stuff. So
That's right.
shut out everything else and achieve your goals. There is money out there. There are people wanting to spend money to invest because basically the best investment we can make is in ourselves. So find somebody you connect with, you relate to, and you have a chat with them and find out whether they're the right fit for you. And then, but believe in it yourself. Business will succeed. Focus, 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 focus.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Now, you have decided to be very generous with our viewers today, and I appreciate it very, very much. Not only will they be able to reach out to you and join your tribe on Facebook, but I also have it on good authority that you're going to give the first 3 people that reach out to you on your business page, Be Deliciously Free on Facebook, a 30-minute call, correct? And this is not just
Right.
getting to know you. This is lay the foundation. Let's see what can happen here. Tell us a little bit about what you've got planned for those people.
Absolutely. Well, those 3 wonderful ladies, if they message me, we'll have a brief chat and just see where they are, where they want to be, and how I can help them. And also, I'll give them some free tips on moving forward, achieving their goal, and seeing whether they want to work with me. But
Excellent.
yes, I'm looking forward to hearing from them.
Excellent. Well, I want to say thank you very much. You are definitely a very close fit for me, for sure. Just in chatting with you before the show and the show, I love what you're doing. I love what you're putting out there for people, and I know that it's making a shift. I know that it is. So thank you again for doing what you do that brings more positivity to this planet, because we are in so desperate need right now.
Thank you so much, Gail. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much.
You guys have a great week. Bye, Facebook. Take care, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye. When you open your energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life? I can show you how.